Welcome back to the DBI, Darin Barbour Investigations. I am Darin Barbour, your Minister of Information. Slide with the minister. Watch this clip with me.
Mother is begging for the safe return of her daughter. 35-year-old Tamika Newsome has been missing since January 5th. She was last seen in South LA at a transitional home she'd been living at since November 28th.
And I started asking questions about my daughter. Where's my daughter? Well, we don't know. What do you mean you don't know? She's not here. Okay, where is she?
DeWanna says she spoke to her daughter often, so when a few days passed without Tamika answering phone calls or returning them, she began to worry.
I just started panicking. I didn't know what to do. I was nervous. My heart was pounding.
Terrifying text messages began to come in from Tamika's phone in an unknown phone number. Messages were sent to Tamika's mother, landlord, and property manager saying things like, she's dead and her body is in a river in Mexico.
When we got those texts, we immediately gave her mom a call and informed her and sent her a picture of the text messages that we were receiving.
And then I started picturing what they were saying about how they killed her. And I'm thinking about if she went through pain, if they really did kill her. And if she really is in the river somewhere.
Tamika had told her mom she was planning on moving out of the transition home. She even messaged Wade in an attempt to get her rent money back. Wade says she has given LAPD complete access to ring footage showing Tamika leaving the property.
And I was like, that's fine. Your rent is paid, so you can stay until your rent is over with. But she wanted to leave, and she left. We can't tell them not to leave or anything because they're able to go as they please.
Tamika's family and friends say there is not enough being done to find her.
I feel like it's not a big deal for them. She's been missing since the 5th, and today's the 25th. I think they should have done a lot more because we just now getting the detective on the case today.
Welcome back to the DBI. 35-year-old Tamika Newsome went missing from a transitional home in Los Angeles, California on or around about January the 4th or 5th. Her family, her mother is desperately searching for her. Tamika is, again, as I mentioned, a 35-year-old black female. Her complexion is medium. Her height is about 5'4". She weighs about 130 pounds. She has long black hair with brown eyes. Again, last seen in the Los Angeles area, around 100 block of West 111th Place. And she was seen in the Los Angeles Lassa home. They call it the White House, homeless, provided by the Homeless Service Authority. Now, Tamika was there because she was fleeing a bad relationship, and so she was looking for safe housing. And while she was here at this transitional home, she seems to have disappeared. She has a very, very close relationship with her mother. They were texting back and forth. Her mother said she saw her physically right before New Year's, and that they bought New Year's together over the phone, and that on the January 2nd they text, on January 3rd they shared text, on January 4th they shared text, but then on January 5th, all of a sudden there was no response from Tamika. So her mother at that point took action and decided that she would drive in on January 6th from Victorville, a couple hours away, and to physically check on Tamika. So when she arrives into Los Angeles to check on Tamika at the Lassa White House on 111th, between Broadway and Main, she finds that Tamika is not there, and no one at the house can provide any substantial answers to where Tamika may be. Not the residents, not any of the staff. Now at this time, the staff house manager was there, and also the owner of the house was there. And I'm going to throw her picture up too, the owner of the house. She's made some statements that are is less than forthcoming, let's say it that way. So I think she needs to be looked into in this entire situation. So as Tamika's mother is asking questions about where her daughter is, she asked to see her room. When she goes to Tamika's room, she is alarmed and startled by how pristine and how clean the room is, and all Tamika's things are gone. Now, I want to bring up a picture of Tamika's things because, there it is on the board for you, because they were saying that Tamika just walked out on these surveillance pictures. Now I want to show you the surveillance pictures because they said she moved her things out under these surveillance pictures on the Ring camera. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see from the pictures that I'm bringing to you, that there's no way that this young lady on these pictures moved out all of those things on the pictures that they're showing us. And as a matter of fact, if you look very closely, those pictures of whoever's on that surveillance camera is covered up. You can't even make them out. You can't give a facial identification behind the hoodie and behind the glasses. Something mysterious is going on here. So now Tamika's missing. And her mother, Dewana, finds that her daughter's things are all taken out. So at this point, she goes and files a police report. I believe she goes to the 72nd Precinct and files a missing persons police report on Tamika Newsome. So we need to bring Tamika home. And I hope the investigators are looking into this house, this white house on 111th between Broadway and Main in Los Angeles, California, the Lhasa house, because there are some strange things that are being said. Because while all this was going on, someone has been texting from Tamika's phone back to the Lhasa house, to the residence manager. They were texting her messages, as well as texting the manager and the owner that Tamika was dead. Once these messages were forwarded to Tamika's mother, she began reaching back out to Tamika's phone and also calling the number that these messages were coming from. And so then they started texting her mother's phone these same messages. Some of the messages I'll pull up and show them to you, that Tamika's dead and that Tamika's been put in the river, that Tamika was taken by the cartels. There's been rumors that this house has been involved in human trafficking. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got to get to the bottom of this. I want you to take this flyer. I want you to take this video. I want you to share it. I want you to subscribe to it. I want you to pass it on to your friends. I want you to put it on your social media. Tamika Newsome needs to come home. We need to find out if this Lhasa house is involved in Tamika Newsome's disappearance. Please help Tamika's family help bring her home. Tamika Newsome, 35 years old, black female, missing out of Los Angeles, California. I am Darin Barbour of Darin Barbour Investigations, the DBI.